That was the scene in New York City 12 years ago as a commercial aircraft slammed into the South Tower of the World Trade Center as part of a horrible series of terrorist attacks on the United States. Today, America remembers the beginning of the War on Terror. More ahead on Patriots Today. Good morning, I'm Riley Branson along with Raina Hartman, and today the nation remembers the worst terrorist attack in American history. At 8:46 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center after being hijacked by terrorists. 17 minutes later, United Airlines Flight 175 was flown into the South Tower, which collapsed about an hour later. The Pentagon was hit at 9:37 a.m. by American Flight 77, and United Flight 93 was headed for Washington, D.C., but crashed in Pennsylvania after passengers attempted to retake the plane. The death toll for the worst attack on American soil in history was 2,977 victims, in addition to the 19 terrorists involved. By comparison, the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor that brought us into World War II left 2,386 Americans dead. In response to the events of 9/11, America launched a war on terror, taking U.S. soldiers into combat in Iraq and Afghanistan, where troops continue to fight to this day.
The High School Students of the Month, sponsored by the local Elk Club, has been announced. A male and female student are selected each month based on a number of factors, including positive attitude, attendance, and work ethic. The students selected this month are Jay Norton and Chelsea Rush. Congratulations to both of you for a job well done.
The Mohave County Fair is coming to the Kingman Fairgrounds this weekend, and some Mouth students are going to be taking part. First up, Mrs. Lauren's first grade class made tie-dye shirts and other art projects earlier this week to enter at the fair. The entire first grade will take a field trip to Kingman tomorrow to check out the livestock exhibits and to see if they won any ribbons. Speaking of livestock, McKenna Kelsey, a freshman here at Melk, has been working hard all year taking care of and preparing her steer Dusty for auction this Friday. McKenna is a member of the local Green 4-H Club, and she, along with many others in the community, will be at the fairgrounds presenting their projects. The fair runs Thursday through Sunday and has many exhibits presented by 4-H and others in the community. Good luck to McKenna and all the other students from our school that submitted projects.
The High School Book Club elected their officers at their meeting this Monday. The office of president went to Brian Brown, with Christy McNeil taking the role of vice president. Cassandra Thomas won the secretary spot, and the position of treasurer went to Shane Bluter. The new publicist is Chelsea Rush, and Cody Hayes will serve as sergeant-at-arms. The club also selected their new book for this month, The Murmurings. It is a paranormal thriller by Carly Ann West. The group will hold their next meeting on Monday, September 23rd at 3 p.m. in Mrs. Demers's room. Everyone is welcome to attend. Also, the Middle School Book Club has changed their meeting day to every other Thursday. Their first meeting will be held tomorrow from 3:30 to 4 in Mrs. Weinald's room.
And in other club news, the Tech Club meets today in Mr. Nicklin's room after school. They are getting ready to televise the home football games next month and are still looking for students who are interested in being a part of their crew. Finally, the National Honor Society is having a mandatory meeting next Wednesday during lunch in Mrs. Mulligan's room. Lots going on with our school clubs. If you're not already a member of a club, consider getting involved. Extracurricular activities really make school a lot more interesting.
That's right. And speaking of interesting, here's a look back at what happened today in history.
In 1789, Alexander Hamilton was appointed the first Secretary of Treasury. In 1962, the Beatles recorded their first single, Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You, at EMI Studios in London. Suicide hijackers crashed 2 airliners into the World Trade Center in New York, causing the 110-story Twin Towers to collapse in 2001.
Welcome back to Patriots Today. Now let's take a look at the news from our community and beyond. Flash flooding from heavy rains on Monday threatened the lives of 3 area residents when they attempted to drive their car through the Sacramento Wash. The wash overflowed onto Route 66, but that didn't stop the driver of the car from trying to get through. Instead, they were stranded in the floodwaters for at least an hour as water swept over the hood of the car and began leaking into the vehicle. A swift water rescue team eventually arrived from the Golden Shores Fire Department and was able to rescue the 3 occupants. No injuries were reported.
Apple announced 2 new versions of the iPhone yesterday. The iPhone 5C is a new direction for the company. The plastic phone will be the cheapest model ever offered at $99 and comes in a bright array of 5 different colors. At the high end, the iPhone 5S will be offered in 3 colors, including gold, but will cost $200 to $400 depending on your contract.
The Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam announced the discovery of a previously unknown painting by the artist Vincent van Gogh. The new work, which is titled Sunset at Montmartre, was painted in 1888 and recently discovered in an attic in Norway. Van Gogh was a Dutch post-impressionist master whose paintings are considered prized collector's items.
And that's the news for today. Before we go, here's your word of the day.
Thank you for watching Patriots Today. We'll see you tomorrow.